Whenever I see videos like this trending, I find it so hard to take the outrage or the concern seriously because of how inconsistent it is. What we need to understand as a society is that if we're going to preach morals, values, and truth, then we must preach it to all ages. You guys are so easy to want to correct or to have outrage when it's 16-year-olds, but when it's your faves, you don't see anything wrong with it. If we're going to preach that, you cannot fully base your standards off of material things, which is the driving force behind why these girls do these things at such a young age. Then we must know that we're saying it to the 16-year-old and the 20-something-year-old or 30-something-year-old. These young girls don't understand that you guys think that the truth is subjective and that it's got an age limit, that from this age, yes, you can do it, but from that age, no, you can't do it, because that's not how it works. That's why they don't get it. To show that you guys don't actually care, when your faves do it, you're in the comments saying, I love this so much for you. Yo, what prayer did you pray? Then when their boyfriends get arrested for being involved in illegal things, you guys act surprised. You act like you didn't know. The men that are saying that that man must be arrested are the very same men that post things like, yeah, when a woman is in her 30s, she's finished. That's why we're gonna get money and date a 21-year-old. These young girls are seeing these things, so when older women are telling them, hey, don't do this, don't live your life like this, then they think that, you're just jealous because men are not attracted to you anymore. We're still fresh and men want us. The men that are outraged by that man are the very same men that can't handle dating an independent woman, a woman that has her own money, because you're intimidated by that. You've based your whole manhood on money, so then now when a woman has her own money, you feel useless and you feel like you cannot be a part of that because there's nothing more that you can offer. The same girls that are concerned that young girls are living life like this are the very same people that when girls are corrected, they say, hey, leave her to do what she wants. It's her body. Leave people to have their standards. Leave them to live their lives. Now everyone is united in fighting this thing. No one has the time now to say, hey, men are agreeing, that means that you're doing something wrong, or men are not agreeing, that means that you're doing something right. Now things are hot. If I was a 16-year-old, I'm not gonna lie, I was not gonna take you guys seriously, because you don't actually stand for the things that you say. You don't stand for anything. You just go with the weather. You just go with the wind. What do you feel like doing today? What do you feel like saying today? These girls are not going to take you guys seriously because they know that deep down you want that lifestyle also, because you have the same standards. If you had the opportunity to get a man like that, you would grab it by both hands and you would be there posting, showing off on social media. Anyways, when you guys are done with this outrage and concern, please let us know so that everyone can go back to default settings and go back to what they usually do. I, for one, understand that it's not nice to be a community. And in this day and age, like, nobody wants to be a community. Everyone is indulging in individualism, that, like, you know, you do you, I do me. I'm not responsible for anyone. No one is responsible for me. I'm living my life, you live yours. The thing is that even if we run away from being a community because we don't like the responsibility that it brings, we can't run away from the fact that we are a community. We need to understand that these things have a ripple effect. It's not just two people involved in a situation. There's a whole lot of other people that need to be questioned when these things come out. Let me point out a few people that could be involved in this scenario. Let's start with the girl. That girl is a child. What she's doing is very normal children behavior. What she has done is that she has absorbed her environment and then she started living it out. If you've ever been around children, you'll know that children do everything you do. Let's say, for example, a child is raised by parents that swear a lot. It's very inevitable that the child will start swearing too. Because why? They absorb. They don't need to understand. They just see and do. So the tricky part is that you're going to say to the child, hey, Wena, don't swear. And they're going to be so confused, like, what do you mean? Because you also swear, so, like, why must I not do it? They don't understand that you are swearing because you are old and they mustn't swear because they are young. And my chat is that if you're telling that the child must not swear because it's wrong, that means that you must also not swear, because wrong is not for young and old, it's for everyone. So if you want your child to not swear, you must not swear. That's it. The people that are saying it's okay for the adult to do it because their frontal lobe has developed and they can make decisions, but the child can't because their frontal lobe is not developed and they can't make those decisions. The children don't say different. They don't know that. They don't care. So what you need to do is you need to lead by example, because when you lead by example, you basically program the brain of the child to instinctively move in the way that you do. Do you guys remember when we were younger? Like, we were always told that, like, we mustn't accept sweets or snacks, like, from older people. The minute you see a man trying to give you something, you must run away. The minute you see a car stopping next to you, you must just know you're going to be kidnapped, you must run away. That's because because our parents fed us that. They programmed us to think that way because we don't know how to make our own decisions. So when we got into those situations, we did it instinctively that, a car, mom said run, we ran. At those times, an old man was disgusting. Like, when you see an old man, you're like, ugh, you could never be attracted to him. And even the girls that were popping in school, they always dated like a young, handsome taxi driver, like, a 20-something-year-old, because they just wanted KFC. Like, those were the iPhones of the day, just buying KFC and nice food. But because now we're on social media and every other day we're hearing that, Ban was dating a married man, now you start thinking that actually, like, older men are not that bad. Like, when you see their pictures, you start to think that actually it's not that deep, because why? We're seeing that information every day, so it makes you used to it. So now these children are growing up in an environment where already, like, these things are normal. So when they see a father, they're not thinking ill. They just think, here's someone that can buy me an iPhone. Another thing is that these men are not going to use sweets and snacks to try to attract young children. They're going to use iPhones and nice clothes and restaurants, because they know that now these are the sweets of today. There's nothing as embarrassing as pointing out a thing to a child that they're doing wrong and they point it right back at you. You have to lead by example. Like, there's literally no other way. I'd understand if social media was just a place where everyone just says whatever, like, it's just a place for fun, like nothing is ever that serious. The reason why the influence of social media needs to be spoken about is because when we actually talk to men and women in real life, you guys actually just recite tweets and videos that you saw on social media. If you guys were not actually thinking like this and actually living like this in real life, then my content would be very irrelevant. Like, there would literally be no need for me to be making content. I grew up with brothers, right? So whenever my mom would shout at me and ask me why I did something, I would always say, but my brothers also did it. And she would always ask me, so just because they're doing something wrong, it doesn't mean that you must also do something wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. That has always stuck with me, because if you're always going to use someone else as a reference or justification as to why you did something, it means that you're always going to be lost. As a woman, you can never look to the behavior of men to determine how you should act as a woman. The same way men should never look at behavior of women to determine how they should act as men. Self-development can never be a group project. You don't wait for someone else to start doing the right thing before you start doing the right thing. Men can never say we are waiting for women first to be better before we can be better. It doesn't work that way. The narrative that what's the point of being better because men will never choose good women, like men always want baddies and gold diggers, is very flawed. Refrain from living in the confinements of whether men would want you or not. Be careful of women that use their age and experience as a badge of honor to discourage you from trying to think better and do things differently than they did. This thing that I'm still young, no wonder I think like this, life is still gonna show me, is very useless to me, because I understand that life is a result of choices. Life is not just something that just falls from the sky and happens to people. 70% of it is choice, and yes, 30% of it is something that you can't control. The life that I live and the way that I think is a result of choices. And the 30% of the things that happen to me without my control are things that I decide, how am I going to react to this? What am I going to do about it? Experience must never be used to discourage young girls from doing better and wanting better for themselves. Instead, experience must be used to guide and to say, you know what, I've been down this path before. This is what I didn't see. You can do better. My mother has drilled these things in me since I was a teenager, and trust me when I say I'm never gonna change. The girls that know textbook language like patriarchy, misogynistic things, that's very good. Like, you guys, you are smart, you know these things, you went to school, great. But that information is useless if you don't have the wisdom to apply it in your life. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do or how to live their lives, but I'm just trying to help you to trace back your thought processes so that you know where they come from. So you guys can say what you want. You can say, I don't tell women what to do with their bodies, how to live their lives. But if we're being honest, if you can't say the exact same thing to your daughter, your niece, then please understand that you don't actually believe that those things are right. It's so easy to tell people, no, don't listen to this one, do whatever you want, you have the right to do whatever you want, it's your body, it's your life. But if you can't imagine saying that to your daughter one day, then just know you're a hypocrite.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone share maybe let's just say an original thought.
Yeah.
And instead of people discussing the thought, they start discussing the person. Because the thought that person came up with or expressed makes them feel a certain way. Are we too caught up in our feelings?
No, 100%. It's very emotional. And that's why I say, like, a lot of people don't think that, like, I care, because if you're making a point and you're just using logic only and you're questioning, then it's like, but you don't care about feelings, like what I experienced. And for me, it's like, okay, that's valid. Like, there is an emotional part of it. But when it comes to talking about the truth, the main facts, there's no room for emotions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is the main ground. After that, then you can, as long as you understand the truth, then you can say, okay, this is how I feel. But we mustn't forget that there is a bottom line.
So here's the thing. I wasn't going to talk about this issue because I don't like having this kind of rhetoric on my TikTok profile. But here's the thing. It would be remiss of me not to say anything. Sharp, I had a problem with this big TikToker who went and talked about the iPhone 15 girl and all of this. And my biggest problem was the moment I started listening to it, I said, wow, you're blaming the victim. You're blaming the victim. You are putting all the blame on the victim, and because of what social indoctrination she got from watching social media influencers and baddies and the kind of lifestyle that they are living, and now because of this, ABCZ. What are you talking about? This is a child. The age of consent in South Africa might be 16, but this person is still referred to as a minor. They're a minor. Yongwana. How are you putting the blame on the victim and other people from what society is seeing in terms of influences and baddies and whatever, and not the perpetrator? You are looking, again, you are trying, because you've done this so many times, to put the blame on influencers, female influencers at that. You're putting the blame on them and the kind of lifestyle that they're living and this. And now because of this, Moyano was 16, this is the kind of life that... What are you talking about? None of that actually makes any sense. You should be worried about the perpetrator. You should be worried about how the whole country is outraged at the fact that there is a 40-something-year-old, 50-something-year-old who looked at a blazer girl, a 16-year-old, maybe 14, 12-year-old at the time that they started dating, 4 years, right? 4 years. Looked at that person and thought, I could get that. Yeah, nankaba sharp. How about looking at the real core truth behind what is actually happening? This girl has been groomed by a man old enough to be her father. Or even... Instead, you're going to look at it, blame the influencer, people that are generally over 18, 21, that you are constantly going off at because, hey, let's blame the women, right?
Yo, like, I've never seen umuntu being dragged as much as Sihle has been dragged on this app. Maybe the girl from US who was saying Tyler is not a colored whatever, yeah, maybe it's on that probably level right now. And the insane thing is just because of different opinions and thoughts. People just choose to look at situation differently. And not... As even talking about that story about a 16-year-old, not even one did she say that that man need not to be held accountable. She just gave us all point of view that she had, like that, and the things that contribute to a child to actually be in the situation. But I feel like people just try to make it seem like she was trying to protect the man that as a pedo. And try to maybe exonerate the man from being held accountable, And obviously, I don't think that's the case, but it's just maybe showing a different light, or a different perspective. And I feel like everybody was just hating because she expressed a different opinion. And let me tell you guys, all of us have opinions, and this thing is like an asshole. We all have it. And everyone's gonna share a different opinion, and it's not going to always be like yours. It's not going to be like the next person, and that is okay because we are not the same person. We're not the same people. So we're always gonna share something different. And if you don't agree with something, you don't have to be disrespectful and rude about it. It's just so crazy that, and I feel like they have just a personal dislike towards that girl, and everything that she says and she posts, people will have an issue with it. And literally, funny thing I just saw now, actually, before posting this video, was that there was a side-by-side video that was put online. The same girl that NSU was going back and forth with has posted the same similar content. Even though maybe the context might have been the same, but the view will like literally the same. But now she's fighting her own words just because they've been expressed differently. And that's just so weird, bro, because how can you now fight the same thing you've expressed that is there on your timeline, and you've shared it and you've agreed with it and posted it because you believe in it so much. But now when someone else says it, it's now a problem.
But if we're being fully honest, at this point, the stitches that I'm seeing on Sihle are basically giving hate train vibes. Because if we're being fully honest, guys, she's not completely wrong. She's not as wrong as you guys are saying she is. I mean, yeah, she did say a little bit of like things that were a bit questionable. But let us not now try to dispute everything that she said and try to put it as if, yo, she's this crazy girl. She's not that crazy, guys. Number one. See, there is no way in that video did Sihle say that we should excuse that guy, or that guy is right, or did she even like be apologetic for what the guy did? No, she merely pointed out another perspective of the issue that we're currently looking at. Because if we're being fully honest, the whole reason behind us even seeing this entire thing play out on social media is because the girl thought it was cool to post about it on social media. Yes, it's been happening throughout all these years. It has been happening. We have been seeing, and we've been asked out by older men. We know this, it's a fact. But Sihle is not saying that it's not there. She's not saying that men are not abusing us. She's merely saying that we as a society have made it seem like it is okay for girls to be in these transactional relationships.
I personally do not know Sihle. I just always see her content here on the app. But guys, you guys are so mean towards her. Shame! Why are you guys mean? Yes, you do not have to agree with her. Sometimes I don't agree with what she says on her videos. But you would never see me coming into the comment section and commenting nonsense for no reason. Why am I even insulting her? I saw so many content creators talking about her, insulting her, calling her names. Why are you calling her names? Why are you... Guys, just because you don't agree with her, we all have different views. We don't have to agree to the same thing. If you went to varsity, I know some of y'all didn't go to varsity though. If you went to varsity and did philosophy, you would understand that we can all have different opinions on a topic. We don't have to see it the same way. We don't view things the same way. We are all different. We don't think the same. So why are you getting mad? Because you don't agree with her. Why are you mad? Some of y'all need help. Some of you are crazy.
Hello, what is up, you dazzling diamonds and the others? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kyle, and this is The Vault. Anyway, you guys, let's jump straight into this video. Alrighty then, you guys. If you guys haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys do enjoy my videos, please do click on that thank you button, right? Guys, why is it that when nasty bad things are happening, we call out influencers? Because obviously they are influential, and the things that they say or do influence people, yeah? But when they do good things or motivate people, they don't come out to call them out on the good that they do or give them praise on the good that they do. It's crazy, isn't it? This is because it matters what you do and what you say. I don't like how people always say you can't blame the influencers for how these young girls are acting or behaving. I have always said that I can blame them and I will, especially the ones that are underage. People say that blame their parents, is their parents' responsibility to raise and teach them right from wrong. But if an influencer or a celebrity is doing the right thing and influencing people got the right thing, nobody ever comes out and say, don't blame the influencer or the celebrity for doing the right thing and encouraging or motivating people to do the right thing. A girl on TikTok named Sihle was speaking about the whole debacle of the pastor, that the 4-year anniversary pastor with the iPhone 15 girl. And Sihle made a video and she was pointing out how people are actually pissed off with this young girl because she's actually living a lifestyle that most people want to live, and everybody's so upset because they yearn for what she has. That was the point that she was making. And now people have been coming for her, calling her a pick-me for siding with this older man. Basically, that's what it looks like, siding with this older man and this girl for cheating. She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. I feel like people are just looking for a reason to come for her because in the past she has said a lot of things, like unpopular opinions. She shared a lot of her unpopular opinions. And people were just looking for a way to come for her. It is not that Sihle doesn't understand why it is wrong for an older man to date a younger girl. It's not that. But there's always multiple angles or perspectives of one situation. She was right in saying what she said. These little girls are influenced by shit, because of the influences. They see these girls with the handbags and the trips, and they also want it now. They want the sugar daddies to provide for them to get all these things. So Sihle wasn't wrong to say that, why are you guys so mad, right? It seems like some people are yearning for what this girl has, and that's why they're coming for her. It doesn't matter if it's a teenage girl or if it's an older person. It's all the same act. And she is viewing the influences. Do you know what an influencer is? It's a person that influences you. Whether it is good or bad, you get influenced to want the things that they have, their lifestyle, their luxurious gifts and all these things. That child is influenced. Which is why I always say that, yes, I can also blame the influencers. Yes, the parents of these kids that are doing these shady grown-up things are at fault for not calling their kids into order or raising their kids properly. Of course. But also, what the kids are viewing on social media influences them. Some of these influencers come out to say that the lifestyle that I'm living or I was living is bad. Don't do it. These days they're coming out to say don't do it. Because they're finding God. Miss X-Ho. Miss X-Ho. She's an X-Ho. If you catch my drift. So no, I'm not being mean or nasty. She admitted her damn self. She's an X-Ho. And we're very happy for her that she has found God and she wants to do what is right and actually warn these young girls and boys that she used to influence, got the shitty things. Now she's seen the error of her ways. So as much as we can blame the parents for not raising their kids properly, we can most certainly, and get this thing out of your mind, you can't blame the influencers. They're not their parents. But they're out here on social media. It's social media. We're socializing. You can't blame them. for flaunting how they have money today because, oh, I got my vusa. And then you hear about people like that guy that took the, was it NSFAS or bursary funds? He was spending it with his lady. Don't you think that influences a young little girl to want that easy life, even if it's crooked? It does. It absolutely does. Sihle didn't miss the point. She didn't. She didn't miss the point that the guy is wrong because he's older. She chose which side of the topic she would discuss. She chose that one. When everybody else was looking here, she was looking there. But what she said wasn't wrong. It is part of the conversation. It is true. She was right. When people like Bonang Matepa are saying, go work hard, da 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 da, we don't say, "Ah, how dare she influence these people," because it's good. But when people influencers are influencing girls, kashi, we ring the alarm because it's bad. But both sides are true. What you put out on social media, you guys, it matters. You're influencing people. I don't care if you want to say, and you can say till the day you are no more. It's not my responsibility to influence people. It is your responsibility. You're on a public platform. It's your responsibility to keep it clean and encourage people or young girls and boys to work for their shit and do better in life and not get handouts from sugar daddies with pot bellies because you want money. You're finishing yourself. We are vitiga. But the hate train that everybody is on for Sihle, calling her a pick-me, it's not a pick. She's not a pick-me. She just has a different perspective of the situation because there are different layers and categories in every conversation. She's looking over here and everybody's looking over here. But she didn't lie. She wasn't wrong with what she said. She was actually right. And even the people on this side, they are right too. But when people are now starting to just look for faults, looking for a reason to cancel you, they will take it. And they will cancel you quickly. And then next week they will come back to apologize and say, oh yeah, but you were right. These girls behave this way because they are influenced. And then some of you get mad because you don't have the things that they are getting and you wish that you did. And she's younger. Now you're so outraged. But when an older person does the very same thing, nobody has anything to say about it. Nobody's going to say that is wrong. Because why? They are older. Therefore, I guess you get a pass for being a hoe in a thought. Because you're older, you know exactly what you're doing. But because a young person is doing it, how dare she do it? Yes, very, how dare she do it? But how dare anyone on either side do it? I don't come out here saying to the influencers, stop influencing people like shit because I'm crazy. Or say that I can blame the influencers for the shitty things that they do. I say that because it is true. No matter how much you want to fight that, you are influenced. You do a lot of things because of the people that you watch. They influence you. They are influential. And those young girls and boys are very impressionable. If you say, I don't give a damn, I have a sugar daddy and he's married, they're going to say the same thing because, oh, it's working out for you. They're not going to care. We are busy raising people that are coming up now. They're very shitty people because they don't have proper guidance. They don't have proper guidance. But now you guys can't be mad at Sihle for speaking the truth. It's just a different perspective. It's not what you want to hear. It's just a different perspective, but it is true. Point blank period. Right? Anyway, if you guys haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Baby, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.